Welcome to our first virtual winter banquet. It's an unprecedented time for us. We've had many disappointments the last few weeks, but we have an opportunity tonight to recognize some of our outstanding athletes, and we're going to take advantage of that. I want to give a few special thanks before we get started. First, I want to thank the parents. I know it's a difficult time for you that we were not able to come together as a group to recognize our student athletes. We hope that you'll find some reward in us doing it this way. I want to thank our coaches for coming together with us tonight so that we can recognize our student athlete accomplishments. And then there's some other people I want to thank, certainly the bus drivers and getting us to and from our events throughout the year. Thanks to our high school administration, Chrissy Owens, Wes Upton, and Dr. Brian Disney for all their support throughout the year. Our maintenance staff, Jeff Williams, Rex Cook, Tim Smith, Holly Fry, Dr. Jake Allen, and our superintendent, Randy Taylor. I don't think you would find a group of administrators more supportive than the group that we have here at Mooresville. Our school board plays a huge role in the facilities that we have at hand, and certainly our school board is very aware of our athletic needs, and they are more than willing to help us out in that area. So I want to thank them, Dr. Bill Roberson, Randy Davis, Dave Oberly, Perry King, and Matt Sainer. Appreciate all that they do for us. And then certainly the people that kind of make it go behind the scenes, Marcia Green, Matt Bosworth, Jake Wallman, Fred LaPlante, and Josh Jones. Really appreciate all that they do for our student athletes every day. We've had some wonderful accomplishments this winter, and I want to recognize a few of those. Our cheerleaders qualifying for the Nationals this year and getting to attend that in Orlando, Florida. Our girls basketball team, want to congratulate them on their Mid-State Conference Championship. We had a couple wrestlers who qualified for the state, Reese Condon, and we had Robbie Gentry, who is a sixth-place finisher, so congratulations to them. Our boys divers advanced to the state finals with Roger Phillips placing 18th and Devin Berriman 20th. And then certainly really excited for our girls diving group. Sadie Mills, a third-place finisher. Kylie Streetelmeyer, a ninth-place finisher. And Kayla Gott placed 11th. So outstanding seasons for those student athletes. I want to congratulate all of our teams for a fine performance this past winter. I'm so proud of not only what our athletes do on the field of play, but how they conduct themselves in public and in the classroom. We have a first-class group of kids, and we're really proud of that. Some of you may wonder when we'll be able to provide the awards for our athletes, the winners this evening, and we will do that at a time when we're able to come back together. So we'll turn it over to the coaches, and they've got some outstanding announcements for you.
I would like to first give my congratulations to all of our winter sport teams at Mooresville High School. We've had an outstanding winter, and congratulations to all the coaches and those teams and all the individual accomplishments that they were able to do. Basketball, we had a really solid, good year. Got off to sort of a rough start, going 2-4, but in doing so, we had beaten both Terre Haute schools and had some good competition. Avon, Bloomington North, a good Decatur team in that mix. Got to Christmas break, really proud of our team and their willingness to stick together and the grit that they showed during that time, getting off to kind of a rough start. We were able to win 9 of our next 10 games. During that time, that included a Lebanon holiday tournament championship where we beat the state's 1A state ranked #1, Gary 21st Century, who has a player on the Indiana All-Star team. We were able to beat them in an exciting fashion on a last-second basket. We went on and beat University the next day, and then beat the host school Lebanon in the championship game to be the holiday champs. During that run, also after Christmas, we beat Columbus North, who was ranked in the top 15 at that time, and Plainfield, who was ranked in the top 15 at that time. So we had some quality wins in that run of going 9-10. And finishing the season, we finished pretty good. We were 4-4 during that next 8-game run. Let a couple of games get away from us. We like to have been at least 6-2, but we had a couple games slip away from us. But finished with a really good 14-10 season. Really proud of our guys and what they were able to do. Our awards this year, our 4 individual awards, we're giving a Defensive Player of the Year award to a young man who has been with us for 2 years. He came from Decatur Central High School, and really he's been the heart and soul of our defense for 2 years. He had a lot of responsibility. He always, we'd had a lot of the responsibilities and things we do defensively. And last year we were really outstanding defensively. This year we were pretty solid, and he was the reason for a lot of that. He got honorable mention all conference this year, and he was also nominated to the top 100 workout, and that's Ty Wright. Our other award, team award, is an Impact Player Award. First of all, the purpose of this was to give it to a newcomer. Kind of interesting this year as we went on, the player that probably impacted our team much was a returning starter. Every coach needs someone they can lean on, someone who gets it, who kind of the calming factor, if you will, the glue that holds your team together. He led us in field goal percentage shooting. He also led us in assists, and he was an all-conference player this year. And like I said, just the glue that sort of held us together at times when things got difficult. And the Impact Player Award winner this year is Luke Fowler. Our Sportsmanship Award, this one was really difficult. This is one of the best teams I've had in my years at Mooresville as far as team camaraderie and team togetherness. And there were many, many players on our team that could have won this award. But there always seemed to be one individual maybe who stood out just a little bit. He played early in his career and sat out a year and came back as a senior and played. In all my years of coaching, I don't know that I've ever coached a player who was genuinely as happy for his teammates as this player was. And like I said, they all did a great job. I was always impressed at how our team, I watched on film and watch our guys on the bench, and all of our guys to the man was always up clapping and cheering guys on. But like I said, this player had a smile on his face and was probably one of the best team guys that I've had the privilege to coach, and that's senior Kyler Evans. Our MVP this year, really pretty simple on statistically speaking and playing wise. He's a 3-year starter. He led our team in rebounding. He was second in scoring. He won the most votes for all conference, which is voted on by the opposing coaches. He does just a tremendous job. We have a star chart, and we have 2 charts we keep in our locker room that you get for statistical statistical accomplishments during games, and they're both a little different. And he was at the top on both charts. So this year's MVP is Miles McGowan.
Parents and athletes, and welcome to the 2019-20 sports banquet. As far as girls basketball, the girls basketball team finished 16-8 this year. They were mid-state conference champs. We finished 29th in the Sagarin ratings and played the 17th toughest schedule in the state. We defeated 2 top 20 teams. So a really successful, solid season that the girls had this year. We drew a tough opponent in the sectional, Brownsburg. We were in that game. They're a ranked team in the state, and cut the thing to 2 points in the fourth quarter, and then with 3 minutes to go, really kind of struggled and didn't score the rest of the game. But a really solid, successful season for us. As far as our 4 awards, most improved award, this goes to Abby Young. Abby averaged 6 points a game for us this year and 4.4 rebounds per game. Abby had a good, solid season, and anytime you come into a new year with new players, you're not for sure what you're going to get. Really proud of Abby. She did a really good job for the team. She always drew the assignment on the team's opponent's toughest scorer. So most improved goes to Abby Young. Our next award is a Team Spirit Award. This award goes to the player who kind of keeps the team in tune, keeps the heartbeat of the team positive, shows a lot of leadership, puts the team above herself. And for our awards, the team and the coaches voted. And this year's winner for the Team Spirit Award is Hannah Hopkins. As far as sportsmanship, the Sportsmanship Award winner this year goes to Maddie Denny. Maddie was second on the team in scoring at 11.3 points per game. She averaged 2.8 rebounds. She led the team in three-pointers with 31. Just like with boys basketball, all conferences voted on by opposing coaches, and Maddie Denny was named all-conference, and also Maddie was named underclassman, all-state, and honorable mention. So good job, Maddie, excuse me. As far as our team MVP goes to Paige Gregory. Paige had another solid season. She led our team in multiple categories. She led us in scoring with 12.8 points per game. She averaged 3.2 rebounds and an impressive 3.8 assists per game. Paige Gregory was also named all-conference. She was senior honorable mention all-state. She was also invited to the top 60 workout, which is a tryout for the Indiana Girls All-Star team. And Paige will be attending IU Southeast in Richmond to play basketball there. So great job, girls, and awesome season. And thank you, parents and athletes, for joining here this evening.
How are we doing, guys? It's Coach Heath here. I'm going to start with our Winter Sideline Awards. If you think about it, one season is really 2 seasons put together, and then 3 if you add the competition team into it as well. Most of these girls, if not all, cheer both fall and winter, making for a very long and brutal season for some of them. This was my first season coaching high school, and I couldn't be more appreciative of these girls putting in the time and effort to build a foundation for us to grow that program. So to start, the first award will be Most Improved. This award is going to Cecilia Perdoso. Cecilia came here as a foreign exchange student from Brazil, not knowing anything about cheerleading and wanted to give it a try. She quickly picked up on a lot of the materials and skills needed to be an effective game day cheerleader. Little did I know she was going to soon be calling cheers at games. She worked hard coming into practice, kept us laughing at games, and is a genuine, sweet-hearted girl. MHS and our cheer program will miss you. The next award will be the Sportsmanship Award. This award is going to Lexi Lee. Lexi is someone who you never hear a negative word come out of her mouth. She's quick to pick up her teammates and make them feel the best they can be. If something isn't going right for her or her stunt group, she buckles down and immediately tries to correct herself, even if the stunt isn't her fault. Congrats, Lex. Most Spirited. This is going to someone that I literally had to tell stop talking, dancing, or doing something completely random every 5 minutes because she has so much energy, and that's Veda Clark. But with all that energy and enthusiasm, she brought it to the games and was always going. Even when she was in bad mood, you can tell that cheering at a game just trumped any negativity that was going on. Great job, Veda. Finally, our MVP for the winter sideline season, Ali Mann. Ali is someone who you can rely on to take charge at a game. Someone who is never satisfied and not only pushes herself, but everyone around her. After the fall season, sideline cheer did not really have official captains, but her, alongside another teammate, took charge and filled those roles very well. Congrats, Ali. Moving on to competitions. Our competition season starts almost immediately after tryouts, and if you end up going to nationals like we did this year, it can last all the way to February. And that makes for a very long and brutal season as well. But our competition team pushed through it, and I will believe benefit from it in the future. This season, we had a lot of obstacles, like having to change routines in between certain competitions, last-minute switches to stunts, Avery tearing her shoulder at the pep rally a week before we left, and then we had something like Madison fracturing her foot on the last full out of a practice. The list goes on and on. But I could not be more proud of these girls and their motivation to do even better next year. With that being said, our first award, Most Improved, this is going to Lexi Lee. Lexi has done an all-around outstanding job this year, from coming in on days off, coming to practice early, and leaving late. She's motivated to be better than she was the day before. She has made tremendous growth this year, and I cannot wait to see what the future has in store for her. Congrats, Lexi. The next award is the Sportsmanship. The next award is going to be given to Emma Moeller. Emma is someone who's not only respectful of me, but her teammates as well. She's always willing to help her teammates out and give them advice or suggestions. At any moment during practice or a game, you can find Emma being a positive role model, helping others and accomplishing any task thrown their way. Congrats, Emma. The Love of a Game Award. This award is going to someone who gets mad at me when I have to cancel practice or make any last-minute changes. Michaela Byers. Michaela Byers is truly in love with this sport, and you can see it. She is one who, just like a few others, who is never happy with complacency. She beats herself up when she does not hit a skill properly or does not hit a tumbling pass, something like that. Michaela is someone I can see going on and doing big things in the cheer world. Congrats, Michaela. Or should I say, Michaela. Final, our MVP. Naming this person the MVP is definitely an understatement, as she's been a key part of this team, Josie Scott. Josie is someone I could ask to do anything, and she wouldn't hesitate. I could plug her to any part of the routine and not have to worry about her. For someone who is so consistent in everything she does, it broke my heart when she touched down on her tumbling pass at Nationals and started to break down. For she knew she could do it, and out of hundreds of times she's landed it, it just so happened that the one time she didn't was there. Josie's a workhorse, and I'm extremely excited to see how she progresses and where she ends up. Great job, Josie, and everybody else.
Us for the 2020 Winter Awards. I'd also like to thank all of those individuals who are out there on the front line fighting for us, and a congratulations to all the other winter sports programs for a great season. I strongly believe that facing challenges in our lives is one of the main ways that we can grow, and we're all facing many challenges at this point in time. I challenge my student athletes every day to dive harder, dive smarter, and to get better every day. It's about how we respond to those challenges that makes a difference as of our lives will take us. In the sport of diving, it takes approximately 10,000 hours of training to produce an Olympic level athlete. That's about 28 high school seasons. We have about 18 weeks in a season, and we train 20 hours per week. That rounds up to about 360 hours in preparation for the championship season. That actually equates to 1,296,000 seconds. All that training leads up to a performance in an 11 dive meet that only lasts 33 seconds. I would like to start off the rest of this by saying this is one of the best seasons that I've had as a coach in the last 18 years. The student athletes are conditioned to show up on a daily basis. They don't always just show up on the boards, they also show up in the classroom and in life. Senior Sadie Mills and Kylie Streetemeyer qualified for academic all-state honors this year for their outstanding performance in the classroom, so I'd like to congratulate them on that. They exhibit high levels of dedication, determination, discipline, and desire every day. Being a student athlete is about becoming a leader, not only a leader to others, but a leader in their own life. All 5 divers qualify for the NISCA All-American Honors, which is amazing for the entire squad to accomplish that feat. 3 out of the 5 divers earned top 16 honors in the state of Indiana and qualifying for the finals at the state meet. Yet all 5 made the big show and ended up in the top 20. This group of young ladies is the most talented group I've had the privilege to work with in my coaching tenure. They were able to combine more points at the state meet than any other school in Indiana. They accumulated points to put Mooresville in the highest rated seed that they've ever been in school history, which is 18th place. And that is only representing 1 event out of the 11 events at the state meet. That alone is a great accomplishment. 2 seniors leading the pack. Sadie Mills took 3rd place. Kylie Streetemeyer, another senior, took 9th place, and sophomore Kayla Gott finished in 11th place. Personal best and a new school record set at the state meet by Sadie Mills is very exemplary. Senior Kylie Streetemeyer was also nominated for the Mental Attitude Award for the state, which is an amazing honor. These ladies accomplished a sectional sweep, a regional sweep, and 3 in the finals at state. Again, something that no other school is able to do. They understand that dreams don't work unless they do, and that's exactly what they do. They've given me the drive and desire to be better every day as a coach and a person, and for that I'd like to thank my divers personally. They face challenges every day in and out of the pool, and they're able to step up and face those challenges with confidence and pride. On a brief recap of our season, we had 10 dual meets and 5 championship-style meets. We had 18 first-place finishes, 18 second-place finishes, and 8 third-place finishes. We had 2 new school records that were both set by Sadie Mills in the 6 dive competition and the 11 dive competition. We had all-conference champion for the boys' side, Devin Berryman, girls sectional champion, Kylie Streetemeyer, and girls regional champion, Sadie Mills. That was actually a 3-peat for Sadie Mills, winning that 3 years in a row. We started off our championship season with the Mooresville Invitational. Both boys and girls swept that event. Our Pioneer Invitational was the next large meet and competition that we had. The girls swept that event, and both teams, boys and girls, were champions for that event. The boys lost once for the Pioneer Invitation, and the boys are undefeated. At Mid-State Conference, the girls took 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and the boys swept that event, getting 1st and 2nd, led by Devin Berryman, followed by Roger Phillips. Sectionals, as I said, the girls swept that event. Only 2 other schools in the state of Indiana had that same accomplishment. And the boys finished 2nd and 4th, all athletes qualifying and moving on to the regional event. At regionals, the girls did something that no other school in the state did, and they swept that event, taking 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And the boys ended up in 2nd and 6th, all qualifying for the state event. At state, all 3 girls finished in the finals, and the boys finished 18th and 20th. We're not just a team of individuals. We've become a family that grows and thrives together. That family has become to be known as the Pioneer Nation. All of you are part of that Pioneer, all of you are part of that Pioneer family, and we thank you for all of your continued support. For our team awards and swimming season awards, that will be taken over by Coach Kevin Trammell. One last comment: no bombs, no ball, no breaks. The shake and make. Show up, what on three? Show up, 1, 2, 3. Show up, what? On to Kevin Trammell.
All right, thanks, Corey. And I'd like to thank all the winter coaches. I think we had a great season last year, and just to kind of add on to what Corey was saying, as the head swim coach, when I look at my point scores, when I look at winning a meet, I never have to worry about diving. I automatically write down those points as we're going to take those, and I just walk away because I never have had to worry about not winning diving. And that, as when you're writing out your schedule, that's a nice feeling to have. On the second thing, when we talk about winter coaches too, us and the wrestling team, we have a kind of a unique relationship, because when everyone else is at home, it's us and the wrestlers. We're always at practice during that winter break. And last year we started kind of a tradition where during Christmas break, when everyone else is home, both of us teams are at practice. So we started an annual water polo championship. And we've got a trophy. We'll have to, you can't see it here, but we'll add a picture. So last year the swimmers won it, and this year the wrestling team won the water polo trophy. So we'll present that at some point in time when we can all get back together. So congratulations to the wrestling team. Now, granted, it wasn't exactly official FINA rules, but we had a good time, and we'll continue to do that tradition in the future. As far as the season goes for the swimmers and divers, Corey talked about time, and on the swimmers world, we talked about yardage. And if you go back, we had practice every day from 6:30 in the morning to 7 a.m. in the evening, and then again after school, from 5 to 6:30 at night. Averaging 3,400 to 4,000, some 5,000 yards a night. If you look at each individual swimmer over the course of the season, they swam 320 miles. And if you put that in relation, if you put everybody together, if we swam a relay, that's 13,760 miles. So if we'd done a relay, we could have swam to Hawaii and back and halfway back again. So that tells you how much work our swimmers put in this year, and it really showed. I knew the season was going to be good. The very first meet, right out of the gate, the very first event, the very first meet, the girls broke the 200 medley record right at the bat. So the season started with a record-breaking event, and we just never lost sight from there. We just got better and better and better. All through the season, there's PR after PR. We broke through the season. We broke the 100 free record, the 200 free. Maria Jimenez broke the 100 breaststroke record 3 times. We broke the 200 free relay on the boys and girls, and the 200 medley relay. We broke that record back and forth all through the time. And even on the very last relay of the sectionals, the boys broke the 200 free relay again. So that shows you all through the season how we continue to get stronger and better all through the year. So when we talk about the awards, I want to start with the boys first. And most of the time when we look at most improved, one of the things I want to look at is when a lot of times we get freshmen come in, there's a big transition when you go from middle school swimming to high school swimming. Because if you look at our sectional, I don't think a lot of people understand the sectional that we swim in is the hardest, not just in the state, but probably in most of the Midwest. Some on the boys team, some of the winning times were junior national qualifying times. These are almost Olympic qualifying times that you guys are swimming for. For us to go there and be competitive is pretty impressive. So when I look at the most improved, I look at someone who in a couple of years from now could be on that same stage and be, right at the heels of some of these kids at, Franklin Community and Center Grove, be slapping on their heels. So our most improved swimmer for this year is going to go to freshman Aiden Langley. Our next person that I always look at is for sportsmanship. This swimmer, he always has a smile on his face. He's always at practice, even when he's sick and feeling bad. And half the time, we even call him Carl, just to jerk his leg. But he's always got a smile on his face. So this year's sportsmanship award goes to Connor Cassidy, just a great kid all the way around. And it should be the sportsmanship/grit award, because the one Connor likes to swim the 100 fly, and we've only got really 2 flyers, him and Trey. Trey was sick, and poor Connor had to hold up the whole team in the meet against playing field, and he had to swim the 100 fly all by himself and represented the team well. And actually, Connor, we made a bet this year that if you dropped 2 seconds one swim meet, we'd miss a practice. And so Connor dropped 2 seconds, and hey, there you go. He got the whole team out of one practice. So he was very popular there for a couple of days. Let's see, our next award is for our impact swimmer. And when I look at an impact swimmer, it's someone who can come in and really, make that impact. Come in and do something where I need something right here, right now. I need these points, or we need this event. And that happened this year with, even though this swimmer, he was kind of battling some little sickness this year, but when I needed him to perform, he showed up. He did what he needed to for the team. So this year's Impact Award winner goes to Trey Adair, who also set a new school record in the 100 fly, which is, he broke that record last year, so he broke his own record again this year. And now our overall boys MVP for this year, my hat's really off to this young man. Halfway through the season, when you look at, you're doing your lineup for swimming. Swimming is you don't have a fixed position. You're not like in baseball. I don't play first base all the time. You've got multiple events you can swim. And when I look at where I need to win the relays, so I've got to have you in these 2 relays. But then individual events, where I'm going to put you. Unfortunately, due to how good he is, it seemed like every single time he would swim a relay and back-to-back events. He'd swim Ironman. He'd swim relay, individual event, relay, individual event. And about halfway through the season, he finally came up to me, and you could tell he was getting tired. And he simply asked, he said, maybe I could do something else. And I looked through it, and I said, you know what? You have done your service well to the team, and yes, you can. So I transitioned him out, and any event that I put this young man in, he puts it all into it, and he performs well and does the team proud. So this year's boys swimming overall MVP goes to Evan Wilson. On the girls' side, starting with most improved, same thing as when we talked about with Aiden. Normally, when people they pick a stroke, they always pick like the freestyle, and they steer away from butterfly. Butterfly is it's a very strenuous stroke because you've got to have your timing down. It's a hard pull. It's hard to breathe. It's hard to kick. So when this young lady said she wanted to be a butterflyer, and she worked for it, and at one point our butterflyer for our 200 medley relay was out and sick, so she stepped in place. And not only did she swim a personal best, she helped the team break the team record in the 200 medley relay at the Mid-State Conference. So this year's most improved swimmer goes to Jayla Smith. Very proud of her. On the Sportsmanship Award, this is another team player, someone who's always at practice, is always there, cheering the team on, is always making the team proud, someone who's always out in front. And that this year's Sportsmanship Award goes to Michaela Alexander. Now on the girls swimming, on the co-MVP, the great thing about, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, her name is Cora Weingartner, because I got to tell you the story. She broke her 100 free record again this year. Last year she broke the 50 free, 100 free, and this year she broke her 100 free. She was on the 200 free relay team that broke the record, 200 medley relay record. The unique thing about this year when she broke her 100 free record was she broke that last year in the Mooresville Invitational. She broke it again this year in the Mooresville Invitational, 1 year to the day, within an hour of the time she broke it last year. So if she keeps breaking that every year, we keep knocking time off, that's going to be a very, very competitive time. That record is going to stand for a while. And one thing we always got to, thing I love about Cora is eventually she is going to, the way she keeps knocking down that time and getting faster and faster and faster, she'll be a junior next year. She's got 2 more years. And the way she's going, she is going to be a premier swimmer, and she's going to make really some really big waves as we go forward in the future. And of course, what can be said about our girls swimming and diving MVP, overall MVP, goes to Sadie Mills. There comes a time when almost every meet, Sadie was always on seems like on top of her game, always getting more points to the last meet. And sometimes you see a dive, and it's like, how in the world did she even do that? I lose track of how many somersaults she does in the air. And I'm like, I'm glad Corey can keep count, because I lose her in the middle. So our MVP for this year, of course, goes to Sadie Mills. Did a great, fantastic job. All the kids this year did a fantastic job. We're looking forward to next year because most of them are coming back. So not only did we win the invitation this year. The girls won it by 114 points. The boys won it by 33 points. And all those boys and girls are coming back next year. So next year is going to be even better than this year. So thank you, and I can't wait to see you all when we get back together.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for our Winter Sports Banquet. Before I summarize our season, I would like to commend all of my seniors for such great leadership. Devin Scott, Sam Henderson, Xander Lowry, Jake Aleska, Reese Condon, and Robbie Gentry. Without their commitment the past 3 seasons, our success this year would have not been possible. They have had a total buy-in in every aspect that we as coaches have asked them to do, from traveling to other schools to train, to training over the summer, to giving up time with their families and so on during the springtime to work out. And their leadership this past season was simply icing on the cake for their Pioneer legacy, or for their legacy as a Pioneer wrestler. We finished the season with a record of 14 wins and 2 losses. We won the county championship. We had a 3rd place finish in conference. We won the Decatur Central Super Duels. We were 2nd at the Jeffersonville Holiday Classic tournament. We finished 5th place in the regional. We qualified 5 members to Evansville to the semi-state. We had 2 members qualify for the IHSA state finals and 1 state place winner. We also had 6 members who qualified for academic all-state. Those were junior Michael Stoddard and Brecken Green, and senior Sam Henderson, Reese Condon, Robbie Gentry, and Xander Lowry. We certainly are proud of all of our wrestlers and their accomplishments this season, and we want to recognize 4 particular wrestlers for awards tonight. Our first award is a leadership award. When I think of leader, I envision someone with courage and passion. The recipient of this award for leadership in wrestling is someone who embodies these 2 qualities. The courage this athlete shows goes well beyond the fact that he has talent. He often walks onto the mat by himself, the underdog, knowing that he's overmatched. His courage is embodied in the fact that he shows up every day at every team activity to give his best. He leads by example, never complaining and always doing what the team needs. His passion for the sport borders on a love-hate relationship. But in reality, I think that that's really what makes us passionate about anything. He loves wrestling. He watches it, he studies it, he talks about it, and he competes at it. He hates wrestling when his ability stops him from reaching the important goals that he has set for himself. During the season in which he as well as our team faced much adversity, we remained steadfast, mostly because of his leadership, his hustle, his effort, and his attitude. Our success this season reflected our team's success, reflected his attitude, and as the movie once said, attitude reflects leadership, Captain. And so this year, our leadership award goes to Sam Henderson. Our sportsmanship award goes to a young man who understands what it means to reach his full potential. He understands that it's a journey and that the process of that journey is important in teaching life lessons. He learns how to focus. He learns how to embrace the daily grind of drills. He learns how to spar with partners that he doesn't always want to go with. He learns how to do live goes with guys that he's overmatched or he is overmatched against and take it easy on them. We admire all of these traits about him. He is ethical in the way that he approaches everything in his life. He always has a positive attitude, and he always understands that sometimes luck does play a role and that you have to meet the opportunity of luck with preparation to improve your chances. His focus, his ethics, his positive attitudes, and being grateful for what he's earned every day is the best way I could describe this young man's sportsmanship attitude. As we walked down the tunnel after he'd qualified for the IHSA state finals, he said to me, "Coach, this is surreal." I truly understood at that moment how much he appreciated and understood what he had just done. And I realized that not only did we reach our goal, but we also fulfilled our purpose of high school sports, sportsmanship. The Sportsmanship Award for 2020 goes to 220-pound IHSA state qualifier Reese Condon. Our Commitment to Excellence Award. Imagine you're a returning varsity letter winner, and one day the coach comes to you with an idea that you should drop a weight class to improve your own chances and to help the team. Most kids would not be in favor of this. The coach then says, hey, you got plenty of time, but you should probably get started now. Not every teenager would do that, but this kid, I knew this kid, and I knew that he would do whatever it would take to make himself better and to help the team. He's just simply that type of person. He's committed to his team, he's committed to his sport, and he's committed to doing his best. I had already talked him into getting on a plane and going to Washington State to wrestle for Team Indiana as a cadet. I convinced him that it was a good idea to ride a bus to Fargo, North Dakota for 12 hours to compete in the most grueling 4-day event in age group wrestling. He never once questioned any of my ideas. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. And this wrestler came down with influenza B the week of regional. He missed nearly the entire week of practice and was not feeling 100% Saturday morning. However, he would not settle for mediocrity. He would not make excuses. He went out and won 2 matches, both by fall, and qualified for the semi-state. It was his off-season commitment that carried him. He had sacrificed too much and worked too hard to settle for anything less. Jake Alexa is a perfect example that championships and commitment to excellence do not show up on tournament days. Those qualities are daily habits, and he embraces that idea. That is why Jake Alexa is our recipient of the Commitment to Excellence Awards. Our MVP this year scored 242 team points. He had 38 wins, 21 wins by fall. 2 years ago at the Winter Sports Banquet, I introduced him as an undefeated JV wrestler and an IASWA cadet state champion. He continued his journey and now becomes our team MVP. His resume along the way has become very impressive. He's a 2-time IHSA sectional champion, a 2-time semi-state qualifier, a mid-state conference champion, a Jeffersonville Holiday Classic champion, a 2-time ISWA state champion, a 2-time member of Indiana's national team, and this year reached the pinnacle of our sport by pinning his way through the Evansville semi-state and becoming an IHSA state qualifier, where he finished 6th in the state. During his state tournament run, he also represented our community in a way that I could never have imagined. I lost count of how many strangers came up to me after the state finals and said, hey, you're Robbie's coach. Words they used to describe him were enthusiastic, fun to watch, easy to root for, exciting, inspiring, and the fan favorite. His value to our team obviously goes well beyond the points that he earned. This year's team's MVP is Robbie Gentry. I'm good, Jake.